Why is that not? Oh, it is working. My fault. All right. I moved some windows around and riveting entertainment here, right?
Yeah, so exciting.
It's Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday again. I don't know why. I just woke up and I was like, it's a Wednesday, isn't it? No, it's Thursday. Thank God the week is almost over. Time for weekend anime. I'm always excited about that. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre. I realized that actually sounded probably like something was pre-recorded or cut. No, I guess I've been doing this a while. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and Genreverse YouTube channel. Follow us on your app that you're listening to us on right now, or if you're watching on YouTube, please do hit that red subscribe button. Thanks to all 550 plus subs that we have now. We value each and every last one of you. But we need more. Give us more. We're now getting greedy. No. LRMonline.com is the website. Everything you need for entertainment, or all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions are going to be there. And I'm Kyle. That's Manny. And I really want to talk about anime.
I can't help you there, bro.
I know you can't help me there at all, but one thing you can do is allow me to one, I need to write down the timestamps, or start writing them down, but let me tell our audience just a little bit about what Crunchyroll did announce yesterday, and it's just about the upcoming fall season. I know there is one show you said you would potentially check out, and it's actually the front one they discuss on their release on their website. Chainsaw Man, hitting starting on October 11th. Super excited about that one. We will be covering it here on the channel, both as reaction and review. So check out AVR and AVR Squared. AVR Squared's only on YouTube. So how are you feeling, man? Like, would you get will you get on October 11th? Will you start your Crunchyroll free trial and give it a shot?
Oh yeah, I mean, I do want to check it out. So, I, I'll do that. It looks good. I've seen that.
It looks gorgeous.
You've shoved the trailer in my face enough, where it's like, yeah, you know what? All right, just shut him up. I'll tell him I'll watch it.
It's
No,
gonna
but
be one of those,
but it
like,
looks good. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's gonna be one that's gonna lend itself towards some genres in the West that are people in the West are more comfortable with horror and stuff than they might be with anime, and it might be that lead in. So, but super stoked about that one. And then Spy Family, guys, starting next week, next Saturday, not this upcoming one, but the following one. We've got Spy Family, and we're also going to be doing AVR and AVR Squared on that. We covered part one earlier this year during our, what was that, spring, I think. So yeah, check that out. But go ahead.
Yeah, I was just at the bar last
Oh,
night, and my friends were like, "You need to watch Spy Family," and I was like, "You guys
it's
need to
adorable.
shut up."
I would
No,
not. I
yeah,
wouldn't necessarily think that would be. No, do Chainsaw Man.
okay.
Spy Family's adorable, but I don't know if it would be. If it's enough for you. You know what I'm saying?
I was told by several people at my table that that's a really good show that I should watch.
It is. I just don't know if it's gonna catch you. But hey, your friends know you maybe a bit more than the guy that's never even met you in person yet. But
It's true.
next year at AX, hopefully.
Ironically, at an anime convention.
Yeah, right. But no, man, stick with Chainsaw Man. I love Spy Family, and one of my favorite bands is doing the OP, the opening for part two. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Things that are carrying on, you've got Mob Psycho, My Hero Academia. You got a couple of new season twos coming up. Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. I know that's a real favorite on online discussion. Very fan servicey, very etchy. Pop Team epic. I know that's something a lot of people just adore the hell out of. Christine and I have been looking for something kind of etchy to get into for the upcoming season. Her and I need to watch through all of the trailers to figure out which one we're gonna pick. Jujutsu Kaisen Zero is gonna hit Crunchyroll this fall. They're starting to get movies. They got Your Name on there, which is one of the biggest acclaimed anime films of all time. Makoto Shinkai. His next film, Suzume Suzume Locking the Doors, hits Japan in November, and here in North America and other locations in early 23. We got a new Mobile Suit Gundam project coming out. A lot of really good stuff going on, guys. Let us know in the comments what you might be watching. And again, if you're gonna watch Spy Family or Chainsaw Man, we're gonna do reactions and reviews to both of those right here. So yeah, man, that's kind of like why I've been wanting to talk anime, is this big list. Oh, the Tonikawa, I missed that. November. Oh, dude, that's a long time. Sorry, it's one of the romance animes Christine and I watch. It was supposed to hit in the summer, and now it's not going to hit until November. That sucks. Anyways, I'm super stoked and high on the weeb right now. The weeb, kind of like weed. Get it? I'm done, Manny. What's up? Maybe I already had my weeb this morning.
Sounds like it. I'm barely having my coffee. And people have to understand that anytime we start recording, it's like 6:30 where I'm at.
Yeah.
And usually I'm up pretty late. So
yeah, I remember being young once. I know you had a group.
We had a group discussion yesterday
than me
about how much is the appropriate amount of sleep, and I was like 4 to 5 hours, right? And they're like, what?
5 to 6. 5 to 6 is good.
I usually sleep
function
5
to 6.
5 to 6. Yep. Yeah, no more than 6. My body doesn't allow me to sleep more than that.
Oh, I mean, I can when I'm not overworked, overstressed. You know, got a lot going on. Last couple of weeks, Christine dealing with COVID and stuff. Not all the time. I mean, a lot more often than I would like it to be, but
yeah,
better than last year. So I can at least say that much. Entertainment these days, man.
What did you think of? I know you and Cam talked about it, but just real quick, just give me your just quick Andor thoughts.
Well, that's a good way to kind of go on back onto what I was going to say, but it was good. It was solidly good. I was very, very tense and nervous about it. Everyone, you know, who's ever listened to the Cantina knows that Cam and I have both been nervous about this show, because there's been so much disappointment with Star Wars in recent years, and we needed a win, and I think it delivered one. Admittedly, I think I'm so raw right now on it that I might be grading it a little harsh. I gave like episode 1 a B plus. I think I gave episode 2 a B minus, and episode 3 an A minus. Cam gave episode 3 an A plus, and I was just like, I don't see A plus yet. But I did say,
I agree. I don't see an A plus yet.
Yeah, I did say I reserve the right to come back and give them better grades if certain things that feel kind of off at first, if they settle in and carry through the way that, you know, that one would hope if the 3 episodes are gonna fit together. If that happens, you know, these all might kind of get bumped up a little bit to like that, you know, B or A minus A range. But I don't know about A plus. We'll have to see.
I've always thought it was strange to rate series episodes individually. Because
go ahead.
For example, in comics, Tom King as a writer,
Mm-hmm.
If you rate some of his individual books, some of them were gonna be terrible. But his pacing and his way of storytelling really comes together once the arc is finished. and then you're like, whoa, this was amazing. I understand this, this, and this, and this now. This is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So so it's the same thing with TV shows. Like some of these episodes need to be a little bit slower. Some things need to be thought out, and because then it won't deliver that, you know, that proper punchline in the end.
Yeah.
So I've always been weary of grading things before. It's like grading a movie based on the first hour. But I mean, nevertheless, we have to do it. We do it all the time. I do it all the time. So like, for example, if I graded She-Hulk based on the first 3 episodes, it's a really good show.
It would have been a lot
Pretty
higher
good
than it is now. That's for sure.
If I could, but you know, as the episodes continue, it's going on. It's like spiraling downhill. Unfortunately, I gotta go watch the new one today.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. Danny,
I cringe, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. So, you know, I thought it was good. I liked the fact that it did feel different. That there was not gonna, like, I have nothing against the Mandalorian or Grogu. They're great characters. There was not going to be a Mandalorian. There was not going to be Grogu. And there wasn't going to, you know, all the things that they like to put in these shows to make you know, the thing you hate the most, the nostalgia thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It'll have it, but very minimal. Even the way that the Empire is represented in the series is different, I felt, than some of the series.
Well, because they're dealing with, you saw 4 episodes, so you've already seen like the Empire proper, not just the corporate guys.
Mostly the corporate guys.
Mostly the corporate. Yeah, I like how the Imperial influence on the corporations can be seen and felt. And one thing I forgot to mention yesterday on our review is the head corporate inspector guy, that, you know, the antagonist for this first 3 episodes, the guy with the stick up his ass. He is, you know, when he's like, did you alter your uniform? Because that's not something you're allowed to do in the military, believe it or not. You're not allowed to alter your uniform outside of the prescribed manner for like hemming and stuff. But he's like, yeah, I did the piping on the pockets, and he had it tailored. And he reminded me of the first officer in the United States Army who decided to starch his BDUs. To that guy, I say, get bent. I was almost going to drop an F-bomb, but I don't want to have to censor it out. And I would prefer us to have a better reach. But yeah, I liked that character's existence, because it gave me a target for some veteran anger.
That's funny.
So yeah, I hope it continues either on the same path that it is or gets better.
Yeah, I think it'll get better, because it's setting up quite a bit, and I feel like it's gonna set out, you know, a heist or something, which is really what I thought it was. So plus Diego Luna is a great actor. I love the new droid, because he's very simple and just kind of like almost like the VHS version of droids, it feels like. So
I like that analogy.
So that's kind of fun. But yeah, I'm satisfied with the fact that it finally feels like it's something different than, you know, and yeah, it is between movies, but it's in a area that has not been explored.
Tolerable area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
I told Cam, I was like, I think as of right now, I think I wanted 1 inch closer to Star Wars, but not like in a, this is broken or ruined things for things like music and shots and pacing, like the editing type end is kind of where it lost some points with me. How did you feel about the dropping the word shit into Star Wars?
It's 2022. It's not.
Well, no, it's not so much that people shouldn't hear that word, but more of using an very, very Earth-based curse word in the galaxy far, far away, because they do have like in-universe curse words and stuff. So I'm not worried about like the maturity aspect, just the actual word shit.
it literally meant nothing to me. Like,
See,
and it's funny because it wasn't until later that I realized, kind of like like, it's like, is this a thing? Like, because it doesn't feel like it should be a thing. So like, I kept walking. I like kept like it. I didn't really even flinch at it.
Yeah, for me personally, I would rather it not be in there, but it doesn't ruin anything for me. It's because it's Earth-based for me. That's what it is. Like I would rather them have had used something else in universe, not one of the silly ones from the cartoon, but some of the phrases they had in the EU books, for example. Sith spit was always a common one used in the EU, but something like that. I didn't mind the tone, the maturity at all. I even think acknowledging sexual relationships, was interesting, but very real, and again, something that happened in the EU. There's this great scene after a battle. There's a Twi'lek, female Twi'lek. I think she was a Jedi. With Lando Calrissian. He's been married for years now with family, and they finish up this mission, and she's like, so you want to go celebrate? And it's all suggestive, and he's like, no thanks, I'm married. And she's like, and like, because it's different cultures, different, her past is, well, she was a Twi'lek, so you guys can imagine if you know Star Wars. But it was interesting because that did happen in the EU. So all of those types of themes I was completely down with and okay with. I just wish there was a bit, as of right now, I wish there was just a bit more Star Wars, maybe in the music even would have been. And not that the music is bad. Nothing here is bad, just kind of being nitpicky. But like I said, I'm very, very apprehensive because if it doesn't remain good, man, like, what do I have to look forward to? Mando season 3, okay, but they're leaning more and more onto the like cartoons and Rebels and stuff, and I don't. That's not me. So it's kind of like I'm losing my grip on Star Wars, so to speak, and that's scary. See, there's no movies coming out.
For the longest time, Star Wars for me was Clone Wars and Rebels. Mm-hmm. So like this stuff is like, yeah, I like this. This is good. Yeah, and then also with the fact that I don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Rogue Squadron's not even on the calendar anymore.
Yeah, I
think
they dropped it off the calendar.
I think you're relieved off for that, huh?
To a degree. I mean, look, I still want more. I still want Rogue Squadron, and I saw an article someone wrote. I don't even remember, guys, because this was a few days ago when that story first broke. Someone was like, "This is their chance to instead rework it into a series," and I 100% agree. Patty Jenkins, by her own admission, had little control, or a lot less control over the first Wonder Woman than she did the second one. First one's a half decent movie in my opinion. A lot of people think it's a great movie. Her second one, 84, was awful. It was garbage. And when she was like, yeah, I got all of the control I wanted, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but she said she got a lot of control, made the decisions that 84 is her movie. When I heard that out of her own mouth, it scared me for Rogue Squadron. Absolutely. Her directing it was just like, no, God, no, please. But the idea of a series allows me to potentially get my dream of Bear McCreary doing the music for a Star Wars project, and Ronald Moore, who gave us the early 2000s Battlestar Galactica, doing Rogue Squadron. I mean, that's just it writes itself here in the real world too, for him to then work on writing that project. So I would be down with that. But movies is where Star Wars is at, or at least it's supposed to be, and we have nothing on the calendar, and that is like I said, man, with other things being so desperately connected to the cartoons that aren't for me. I don't know, man. It's scary. I'll always have the OT though.
It's real interesting the way that Disney treats Star Wars, because you see how much love and care is put into Marvel. and just how particular and how meticulously they've planned out all the way to 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Wars has a couple of shows, and not really. Does it have a movie out there somewhere?
No, I mean, they say Waititi's film is likely the next one, but he wouldn't even be able to start. He wouldn't even be able to start working on it until like 24.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then
so, but
Feige's movie, no date, no nothing. And Ryan Johnson's trilogy, nothing. I mean, literally, there's nothing that we know of.
No, yeah, not even. It seems like there's not even a plan, because Disney even likes letting people know their plan for. Well, hell, they just did it with Marvel. 2026, they released all of the. They even went all the way through phase. They started through phase 6.
Yeah,
everything that they were doing. So it's interesting to see how they're treating Star Wars now, and it's like
sad.
It's definitely not at the top of their list. And
I think they wanted it to be. I just don't think they know what to do with it. I think there's
that is a problem, because
I
think they thought that their trilogy was going to be a lot better than it was.
Oh yeah.
And when that failed, you kind of have to start over. But at that point, like, what do you do? Because you've already planned theme parks, and you've already put so much into it,
expensive hotels. And...
yeah. And they want, So the fact that they released the survey to say like, hey, why, what's wrong with the service? How can we make it better? And it's like, you morons, like it's $5,000 to stay in a bunk bed.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. With $5,000, you can go on a pretty nice cruise.
Yeah. For $5,000, you can go on a really, really, really nice Universal Studios resort stay.
Yeah, and it's probably going to cost you a total of $5,000.
Oh yeah,
So
and that's your park tickets for 5-6 days, and your hotel accommodations and meal packages and all of that.
So funny,
more than a what is it, 36-hour or 48-hour stay on the Halcyon.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I was thinking about it, like, if I did that, I would be so nitpicky when I got there, and be so like, I turn into a Karen, because for $5,000, I expect like Darth Vader to cradle me to sleep or something, Chewbacca to like, lullaby me to put me to bed. So like, wouldn't you expect like the world for $5,000? Like if you yourself gave $5,000 of your money,
I would want at minimum like a 2 to 3 hour block of at least the Batu or whatever it's called, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I would want a 2 or 3 hour block where only those Halcyon, Star Wars Galactica Star Cruiser guests are allowed in that area. Like that, and that's every day that you're in that hotel comes with that benefit. Not like a 1 hour early for all of the no, you should get a chunk of time just for the guests in that hotel for that type of price. I'm talking like primo. Yeah. And then inside, it needs to be a hell of a lot more than cheesy shows and songs. There needs to be some real in-depth stuff. And I think it's a really cool idea. I think they need to open.
The idea is cool, yeah.
I think they need to open up more of it and retool as much of it to a open exhibit. And just only at night you get some special stuff for staying in the hotel.
But at the same time, like, the whole thing is kind of dumb. It's a cool idea, but it's a dumb thing to actually implement, because interest rates are just went up again yesterday. People do not have the money right now to I'm still surprised at how committed a lot of Disney adults are to the park.
Oh yeah,
right now.
to their spending increased money.
To each their own. But if they keep going, they're just gonna keep raising the prices, and it's like, hey, that just means people like me are gonna go to Universal.
Go anymore. Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Universal's better.
So what's interesting is that I've always,
at least in Orlando,
I really like Disney movies. Like that's 100% sure. But the whole idea of Disneyland makes me sick. Because of the way they price gouge, because of the way I know that in the past through different investigations done in LA, they treat their employees. We know how they treat their animators.
Yeah.
For working on
VFX guys,
the VFX
Marvel
people. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it makes it so like yeah, I like the final product, but everything it's almost like blood diamonds,
I can kind of see that. That's a good comparison.
Allegedly, and I know that's kind of extreme to say it that way, but it's kind of it's like, oh yeah, you're paying like $100 and something per person per day, and then you go inside, and then you're gonna want because for here's, I don't know about you, but when I go out to a place, it's not just about going, it's about getting the full experience. And so that means maybe getting a fast pass, whatever it's called in that area, or at Disneyland, Mickey ears are a thing. And if you're going to do Galaxy's Edge, you're probably going to want to make a lightsaber, because of course that's really fun. Maybe you're going to want to try one of the restaurants, some of the foods, etc. At Disneyland, every little thing that you do like that almost adds the same cost as your ticket price. And so so it's ridiculous to think about the fact of how much they suck out of families for supposed happiness, because it's quote unquote the happiest place on earth.
And I can verify. So we have a travel agency and ticketing service available to military members, usually coming with not just standard military discounts, but additional things that you can't access elseways. Looking when my wife and I did a trip to Orlando, we were looking at the cost differences between Universal and Disney, just out of curiosity, and to do the same 3 days 4 nights, both parks, Universal, to do something similar 3 days 4 nights at Disney, dude, was something like $700 more than what we paid for Universal. Something, yeah, it was like $800 more. And this was in 2016, so 2016. Yeah, man, it's stupid price over at Disney, and that was World, that was Orlando, of course, but still, man, you're talking almost another $1,000 to do a similar trip. But for us, it's more about rides than immersion. Immersion is great, but we're big thrill ride seekers, so it was always going to be Universal. Disney just they don't have enough for us to ride. You know what I'm saying?
We had that conversation just a couple weeks ago, because we're trying to come up with a family trip, and it was like, my girlfriend's never been to either Disney or Universal, and I was like, I will be honest with you, for what we're gonna get for our money, let's go to Universal.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to experience Hogwarts, which I haven't done. So it's like, I
like the Orlando one.
So I was like, we'll do Hogwarts. We love movies, so that whole thing of being immersed into the movies is going to be what we want. Obviously, Jurassic World's going to be a big ride for us. Yeah, they just refurbished the Mummy, which was a fun roller coaster. And then Transformers, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, the Transformers ride is fun. I mean, the Spider-Man version, they got both of those out in Orlando. Spider-Man's is better, but Transformers is a lot of fun.
Oh, well, a lot of fun. So and then we're thinking then we go to City Walk and blah blah blah, whatever. So it made a lot more sense. And then like it wasn't gonna. And then next year, it even gets even better because they're adding Super Mario World.
Yep.
And that's gonna be completed next year. So yeah, it just makes a lot more sense to enjoy our time at Universal than to. I mean, are we eventually gonna do Disney? Yeah, we're gonna probably in the next 2 years. We'll probably head out there, but there's so like, but it's never at the top of our list. That's what I'm trying to say. Just because it's being as the years go by, it's made more and more unaccessible. I think that's what I'm saying.
I'd go to Valencia before I went to Disneyland, man. I'd hit Magic Mountain before I hit Disneyland.
Dude,
all day.
I could live at Magic Mountain. I love going there.
Tatsu is still the most beautiful ride as far as the aesthetic. You know, when you're on that flying coaster and you reach that top of the hill and just the freaking mountains and all laid out in front of you, that is still the most beautiful ride I've been on.
That is actually a terrifying moment because I've sat in the front car of Tatsu, and so when the top of that hill, the chain actually goes a little bit further than the curve. So it's not like the chain ends at the top like as traditionally, and then it drops you. What Tatsu does is that the chain continues just a little over the curve, so it actually holds you in suspense, facing downward a little bit. You know that
you get like a nice little time to enjoy the
concrete at the bottom. Yes, while you're the only thing holding you from the
vest is comfortable. I love that restraint.
No, it's a good restraint. Yeah. But you know when it does that, all your weight obviously is pushed. You know, and you're like, whoo, and then that one inversion with the
the loop where you come in this way and you're going down. Yeah, I love that loop, man.
The first time I felt that, I was like,
getting roller coaster wood.
Yeah,
it's a double entendre.
The only
wooden roller coasters, yay!
The only roller coaster at Six Flags that I had to take a break after because I've gotten the Flash Pass before, which honestly is a good idea. It's a terrible idea because I don't want to ride back to back roller coasters that quickly.
I love doing stuff like that.
I found that out. Was Goliath. Goliath was the only one that after I got off, I was like, I need a minute.
Is it the turns? A lot of people on Goliath at Magic Mountain, Millennium Force in Cedar Point, and in Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion. Can you guys tell I'm a bit of a roller coaster enthusiast here? All of those have real strong G's in their turns. Is that what was doing it?
Yeah,
to
and
you?
it also completely caught me off guard. But it's a good coaster. And it's not one that maybe I'll be like. It's not one that I'm lining up every time to get there first. I really enjoy the Riddler. That's a stand-up coaster.
Yeah.
I love Batman.
Classic.
It catches, like, the speed of that always catches me off guard.
It's a bit rocky though these days.
A little bit. Yeah, it's old.
Yeah, I know it is.
if you want to talk about Rocky, talk about Viper. That's
yeah.
That's rough. That's a little rough. As a matter of fact, its predecessor doesn't exist anymore because of how rocky it was.
Oh man.
Scream is good.
Scream is great. Floorless roller coaster. Yeah.
That moment when they strap you in and then the floor comes from underneath you, and it's like that's that's fun. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Definitely 10 out of 10. Would rather go than Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, before we wrap it up, you know what my first big kid roller coaster was? It was actually at Paramount's Great America, as it used to be known, and it was Top Gun. That was my first real roller coaster, a suspended roller coaster. Did you ever you've been what is it called now? What is Great America called now?
Okay, so you know it's closing, right?
Oh, it's closing down permanently.
It's either going to be this year or next year. I'll look it up in a
crazy.
And, but yeah, Top Gun was one of my favorites. The first roller coaster I ever rode was in that park as well. It was called the Vortex.
The stand-up roller coaster.
Yes,
I rode that same trip. Do you remember the Days of Thunder theater simulator ride? Yeah. my God. And we've probably talked about it, but I got the brain injury. You remember Manteca water slides too, right?
Yeah, that I never went to.
Oh, you never got to do.
We're never
okay.
water park people.
Okay, yeah, we got to do. I got to do that one. Man, geez, there's some good memories. See, guys, I got some street cred over on the West Coast.
We used to have what they called for Great America, now called California's Great America, for now until they close it. We used to have these things called wild cards, which allowed us to go all summer. Very cool. You pay for one time, and then we would take the BART and whatever the bus was over there in that area every now and then with a bunch of friends and just have a day. You know, you have that collectible cup, obviously, that you can bring back and refill. Yeah, good times.
One roller coaster I don't do credits, but one I can claim. Another deep cut there in California, the Big Dipper at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
Oh yeah, the Giant Dipper.
I have been on that Giant Dipper. There it is. Big Dipper's the freaking constellation. Guys, lrmonline.com every day for all entertainment news, needs, and opinions, written articles, celebrity interviews. Those also go up on the LRM YouTube channel. Subscribe there. And all the podcasts have their own write-ups and pages that pop up. Podcasts like the Cantina covering Andor, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem doing She-Hulk, unfortunately. Anime-Versal Reviews. We've got Classroom of the Elite Season 2 finishing up this upcoming Monday. And then, like I said, Spy Family and Chainsaw Man. Breaking Geek Radio does a lot like what we do here, but for a much longer period of time and only once a week on Fridays. I produce that show. Nick, Danny, Janet, and Jonesy. I know, right? It's great. And Jonesy do that show. All the podcasts get video here on the YouTube channel. Please do subscribe. Thanks to all 556, as the screen shows me right now. Review of the Rings is also up. That's doing the Rings of Power. It's only seasonal thing, so yeah. And then of course AVR Squared reactions and Genre Shot trailer reactions. Manny, anything else you want to say?
I think
what a weird day.
Yeah, it's a very strange day. It's a strange time, and we're in this weird like entertainment bubble where there's not much going on.
There's like stuff, but there's just not stuff. There's not as much like future stuff to discuss.
Yeah. And everything's and oh, well, there goes my microphone.
Yeah, Cat saying it's time.
Cat said it's over.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.